Here's another question. A fellow student has taken it upon himself to start writing fan fiction about all of us in my honors class at university. I started actually reading them out of morbid curiosity. It's come to my attention that if I offhandedly say I enjoy something in class, it ends up becoming a major trait for my, quote, character. How do I explain to this kid there's more to me than liking Star Wars and escape room games without making things weirder than they already are? I have to take multiple courses with this guy, and I'm afraid he's going to kill me off.
Oh, my God. This is beautiful.
That's from Characterized in California. That's
Can
tough.
I tell you the weirdest thing
Now, you know what? We always jump in on these things, and especially, it's never me because I just finished reading the question, and I feel like
ahead of time. Yeah.
maybe people don't really think that we're taking the time to think this thing through. I want people to know that our advice is coming from a place of consideration. We've edited out probably several minutes of consideration before we just leap in and start answering the questions.
It seems like the obvious solution right here is not blow up your spot, because you don't want to get this property this person's working on could end up being the new AAA summer blockbuster franchise. I'm talking about movies. I'm talking about graphic novels. I'm talking about HBO premium TV with dicks and everything.
I mean, Shades of Grey was a Twilight fan fiction. So,
Shit, my dad says was a Twitter feed, and now it's a hit TV show with Bill Shatner.
Exploding, always exploding, that property.
I mean, look at the cavemen were a Geico thing, and now look at them. You know what I mean? They have their own sitcom, probably still.
Yeah, and then there's Shit My Caveman Says, where they did just the two properties were so hot. There was Two Broke Cavemen, things they say shitty. And
there was Things My Dad Shit.
Things My Dad Shit, including a caveman. In that episode, William Shatner goes in the toilet and poops out a whole caveman. And so anyway, you want to be careful here. You don't want to get written out of the story. You got to make yourself as interesting as possible. And I'm talking about you open up your JanSport one day and you start to pull out a very magical looking sword. But then you look around and notice that the author has seen you. You tuck that sword right back away. You don't make a big deal out of it. Now you got a sword in the book.
Or maybe like you open a really dramatic seeming letter with like a big wax seal and you kind of gasp a little bit right next to this person. They're like, what? You say like, well, it turns out my great aunt died and she left me her spooky house, but I have to spend the night in it if I want to inherit it.
That's really good too. Or you open it up and you say, whoa, I got into Hogwarts. I have spell powers.
Another person trying to buy my oil fields?
Yeah, I mean, that one is going to go more of a sort of dramatic, non-Harry Potter route. I was trying to get that HP heat.
Well, if someone's trying to buy my magical oil fields?
Yeah. But you don't need to, you can't say, well, for so many reasons, you can't say anything about it, right? That's not happening.
I don't think the concern about making things weird, that ship has sailed, and it wasn't you that did it. It's done. It's weird already. You have to get weird to fix a weird situation.
Okay, this is not good advice, but welcome to the show. Maybe just go to him like, hey, I read it, love it, I've got some notes. And like,
got
pull
a
out
few
a legal
notes for
pad.
you.
What if my character was 6'5"?
Next time, write this in a G-Doc. Let your boy get in there and comment a little bit to kind of help shape this narrative.
Oh, you should be careful, though, because if they start to change things about your character, it might start to change you in real life.
Yes, I was just about to say that. Stranger than fiction.
Page master.
You come into school the next day and you're just sitting there in class. You're taking good notes and expanding your horizons of mind, and then you rip a big, huge one, and then everybody in class then changes your name to, the toot doctor, and then you go home and you're like, wow, that stunk. I'm going to brighten my spirits up with some fan fiction about my life. And then you see that exact scenario, and it ends with like a little PS, like books do sometimes, where it says, P.S. Toby, I got you, motherfucker.
That's illegal.
You gotta be careful.
You gotta be careful.
You don't know who has magic pens and or notebooks these days.
Are you checking the publish date on this stuff, by the way?
Oh, no.
Are you checking the publish date, by the way? Are you making sure that you liking Star Wars wasn't written before you told everybody how much you fucking love Star Wars?
I didn't even used to care about Star Wars, so I love it now.
When did this come out? June 6th. Well, that's 1885? What? I was always wondering why it's yellowed. Amazing. Doc Brown, you got my fucking number, dude.